Hi, good day. This is our third feedback on our investments that we started analyzing and recording in the 1st of April 2020. And if you've been with us, you'll know that we took 6 investments and we invested 1,000 Rand within each of these investments. Now, the first investment that we took is the South African Pure Equity Fund, and as a proxy we used the Alan Gray Equity Fund, and we started investing 1,000 Rand in that. The second one was the money market account, and we invested 1,000 Rand in Alan Gray's money market account. The third one was a totally offshore equity, and as a proxy we used the Portfolio Metrics Global Equity Fund, investing 1,000 Rand in that fund. The third one that we invested 1,000 Rand in was in Kruger Rands. So we also put 1,000 Rand in Kruger Rands, and then we put 1,000 Rand in Bitcoin, and lastly we put 1,000 Rand in a pure listed property fund, and as a proxy we used the Prudential Enhanced Property Tracker Fund. So we started off the 1st of April 2020, and every quarter I gave you feedback about that, and I said at the outset that I think for 2020 the money market stands a good chance of outperforming the others, because we just had COVID. We didn't know how that was going to play out. We saw the property sector take a dive. We also saw that even the equity markets dropped by 34%, so it was really a tough time. But the whole intention of this is not to give you financial advice, but it's to track what investments do over time. Because in our practice, we often get people saying that when markets are down, move my money to the money market, because the money market is the best investment class. I wouldn't have lost money, and I think that is the place to be. So I decided to just track these 6 different investments over a long period of time. I don't know how long it's going to be. It's only been 3 quarters now, but already we can see some tendencies. But I want to tell you, you actually should track investments for at least 5 years and longer. So the feedback where we are now, the Alan Gray equity at the end of the year, and this is until the end of December 2020, your 1,000 Rand would now be 1,316, giving you a total return of 13.16%, which I think is great. 13% in 1 year, it's fantastic. The Alan Gray money market, we saw that there were 3 interest rate cuts during the year. Your 1,000 Rand would now be 1,043 Rand. So you had a 4.3% return on the money market. Not that good, I think. The offshore, the proxy Portfolio Metrics offshore, you would now have 1,191, giving you a return of 19.1%, outperforming the South African local equity. Then we saw Kruger Rands, because by the time we started tracking the Kruger Rands, they already increased quite a lot, and they eventually ended up at 34,000 Rand per Kruger Rand. But they came down spectacularly, about 17% during the last quarter. And your 1,000 Rand in Kruger Rands will now be worth 881 Rand. So there you have lost almost 200 Rand of the 1,000 Rand that you invested. So that one is down. Bitcoin, on the other hand, we saw at the beginning of the 3rd quarter that Bitcoin was on 1,659. That was already a significant increase from the 1,000 Rand that we invested. And at the end of December, your 1,000 Rand would now be worth 4,540 Rand. It's something close to 400% increase in Bitcoin. And I just want to give a warning. Please do not just jump in and buying Bitcoin at the values that they are right at this point in time. Right, the last one that we tracked was the Prudential Enhanced Property Tracker Fund. Now, I thought that the property index would decline even further. It actually did after we saw the drop in March. It declined, but then it picked up quite nicely, and at a point it was close to 1,152, and then in the third quarter it dropped right down to 994, also losing some money on the 1,000 rand that you've invested. But it also picked up nicely, so that the value is at this point in time 1,188 rand. So you've had an 11.88% in property, which I never thought would happen given the situation with COVID and people not utilizing offices and so forth. So we are starting this year with Bitcoin in the stratosphere. All of the other investments, bar Kruger Rands and basically property, performed very well. The money market is lagging unbelievably. So if we look at the year that has gone by, it wouldn't have been the best place to have your money in the money market. So let's look what is going to happen in 2021. I really don't know. Bitcoin has already lost again about 20%, so it's off the high of $43,000 per Bitcoin. It's trading around the 34,000. So yes, it's coming down, and we see Bitcoin normally goes up and then retraces very quickly. It's not really happening this time, so it's going to be interesting to see which investment will win in 2021. So thank you for joining. As always, please like so that you can be kept up to date, and also subscribe so that you can see every quarter when the new video comes out. Thank you very much, and enjoy the day.